Here's the thing. I was quite disappointed with the shots tonight for the Celtics,
Yeah.
not because they didn't fall, but because of how they were generated. Actually, about how they weren't generated. It's not like we were the traditional drive and kick, which the Celtics
Hmm.
are by far the best team at doing so, driving and kicking it out. Always having a guy open because people overreact on a guy like Jason Tatum or Kristaps Porzingis, Jalen Brown getting to the hoop. It usually leaves one or two guys open on the perimeter. That's not how those shots were generated tonight. I understand there were some open looks, but
Yeah.
even the open looks weren't generated. I just the offense was stagnant. The offense, in my opinion, was hideous. I'll
Yeah.
use that word. It was hideous. Uh, as for the defensive end, that's the only reason we had a shot in tonight's game. I mean, Seamus mentioned it earlier. Second game and feels like what, maybe right around 10, 11 days.
11 days.
Sometimes the rest is good, fellas, especially when you got
No.
guys on the injury report like we did tonight. But sometimes too much rest leads to rust, and that's exactly what you saw. The Celtics were running in the mud once again tonight, and it essentially caught up to them. They couldn't hit their shots. Defensively, though, I will say, right up until the fourth quarter, which stinks because that's when that's when it all matters the most.
Yeah.
But essentially, I thought the Celtics were playing one of their better defensive games of the season up until that fourth quarter when Chicago went on that. They started out the fourth quarter on a 17-6 run. Um, I was very impressed with the defense tonight. I thought that was what kept Boston in the game. In fact, I thought when the offense was, when they were making shots and when they were making plays happen, offensively, I thought it was because of their defense. And so I will give the credit to the defense tonight. The offense looked horrendous. Horrendous.
Yeah.
56 3-pointers. I'm big on I'm not worried about the number of 3-point attempts. That's not what I'm worried about. The number can be high. But when you're not generating those looks and you're just chucking up the threes and you're not generating anything from it, that's when that 56 becomes a number that you raise your eyebrow at and you say, well, do we really need to be shooting all these threes? At what point
Yeah.
is it that we stop doing that?
Yeah.
At what
Just.
point do we say we have Jason Tatum, who's 6'10", a face of the NBA, plays at an MVP caliber level? There were moments tonight when Jason Tatum shot the ball, and I'm like, what is he doing? The Chicago Bulls are a team that you drive to, and they didn't do that tonight. They sat at the 3-point line. And listen, I understand that there's post-game shows where we're sitting here. Oh, the Celtics historically are historically the best 3-point shooting team we've seen. There are nights where they're hitting, upwards of 20 to 25 made 3-pointers there. Yes, there are majority of the nights you will not see a team outshoot the Boston Celtics. Tonight, unfortunately, was a rare night that we saw a team outshoot the Boston Celtics. And obviously, as you see in the final score graphic, Chicago did that. And that's a big reason why they won tonight.
Yeah. I mean, look, down low in the paint, actually, I saw it a lot in the first half. Not so much in the second half, but it was weird the way the Bulls are playing defense tonight because Porzingis was going ISO ball down low. It was I think he matched up tonight against either Ao DeSumo down low or it was Patrick Williams, which was weird. You'd think okay, Vucevic is down low, but I saw a lot of Williams and a lot of DeSumo on Porzingis one on one, and that's a mismatch all day. And I don't know if it's a testament to the rust still with Missoula after all this time off or what was going on, but I saw him make, a few of those buckets. ISO, no one can guard Porzingis one on one in the post. I don't care who you are. Not many centers in the league, not many players in the league can get, a good contest on Porzingis one on one in the post. And I don't know why we didn't really explore that more because if I could see it from TV, Porzingis going one on one down low with DeSumo or Williams. I'm not sure what the team couldn't see, but I don't know why we weren't exploiting that mismatch.
I'm going to hit on the 3-pointers real quick because, whew, have they been a debate this season so far. 56 3-pointers tonight. That inches towards a single game high for the Celtics all season. Now, it's not the single game high. The single game high was actually, I believe, 61 against the New York Knicks on opening night. And number 2 was 60 against the Memphis Grizzlies on that Saturday night where we lost. The Memphis Grizzlies shot 27 less threes than the Celtics, yet made only 3 less threes than the Celtics the entire game. And the Celtics, they really hold the NBA's mark for most 3-point attempts in a game by a wide margin. And tonight, 56 3-point attempts. Now, I understand, again, I've harped on this in previous post games where I said, look, the 3-point volume is what we want to achieve. Yes, I understand the analytical mathematics behind 3-pointers, okay? Threes are worth more than 2 if you hit them at a specific clip. They're going to be a more efficient shot, especially if you shoot them at a volume. At a volume, you want to shoot a high number of threes. But within that, we saw an evolution of the Celtics team 2 years ago when Ime Udoka came into the building. Brad Stevens, the team now, I will say, disclaimer for 2021, that team was all over the place. Injuries, there was a 72-game season, no fans, injuries out the wazoo. And of course, we know the team wasn't all that great. A lot of young players, Shimi Ojale, Romeo Langford, Grant Williams, had a step back year. We were all relying on those type of players. So disclaimer for that season. But the Celtics stepped back in terms of efficiency that year. And when Ime Udoka came into the building in 2021-22, that team was very keen on creating good 3-point shots. And we even saw the team turn around when they traded Dennis Schroeder and Josh Richardson, who I thought didn't fit in as well with Tatum, Brown, and we remember Smart was running the show as well back then. We, of course, traded for Derek White, who came in, made the team super efficient, and even Daniel Tice, too, to the big man rotation. And those 2 players, specifically Derek White, who's still around today, made the team super efficient in terms of getting wide open 3-point shots. It's the quality of shots we want to look at. It's not just the volume. Yes, we want to achieve a volume, but we also want to take a high quality shot from beyond the perimeter or create more high quality shots. And tonight, 56 threes, and most of the nights where the Celtics shoot over 50 threes or over 55 threes or however many whatever mark you want to put it at, in the 50s, the Celtics struggle at creating those high quality looks. A lot of the 3-point shots the Celtics shoot are straight up boom, jack off of no passes, jack off of right there, 18 seconds. Like what, you guys are laughing because when I term things in a specific way just now, but you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. The Celtics were just jacking them out there, just continuously jacking 3-pointers, just continuously, egregiously. And it was coming off of a lot of no passes, no offense. It was a lot of, we understand the pace too. We want to play a higher pace, higher volume. But honestly, got to reel it back in right now.
You're just ridiculous.
I'm distracted.
Me too. But all in all, the Celtics, just in terms of their 3-point quality, it's not been good this season. Okay, I understand Missoula ball. We want to shoot 1,000,000 threes. We want to jack 1,000,000 threes. Yes, but we cannot be shooting low quality shots, and that's what we were shooting specifically. The Celtics were shooting early in the first quarter and throughout the game tonight. When it's Tatum off of an isolation possession. Derek White. I don't know what's going on with him this season. I really expected more. Last season, we saw him go to the rim. What did that do? That collapsed the defense. That, of course, made him a scorer at the rim. We put him in the All-Star conversation last year. Not only did it create points at the rim for Derek White, created points for everybody else out on the perimeter. But what is Derek White doing this year? Boom. Right away.
Seamus,
right away. 3 of 12 tonight for Derek White. 12 3-point attempts for Derek White. And this is the problem when we see either Derek White or Drew Holiday shoot a large number of 3-point attempts. They're usually not all good threes. We want to see those guys catch and shoot from the quarter, catch and shoot off a hockey assist on the wing. We want to see those guys be aggressive with the ball in their hands when they're handling the ball. And Rob even has mentioned it on postgame where they've turned into more 3-and-D wings than actual guards this season, whether it's because Jason Tatum and Peyton Pritchard has been taking over more of the playmaking responsibilities. Those guys have kind of reverted back into being more of these 3-and-D type of wings. But we want to see the ball. We want to see when it's in their hands, Derek White and Drew Holiday be aggressive going to the rim, or we want to see their 3-point attempts be catch and shoot attempts. This year, it's coming off of more isolation
Yeah.
opportunities, and I don't think that's very productive for the Celtics whatsoever. And I think we're seeing it come out in games like tonight where 56 3-pointers, you cannot tell me that a bulk of those were great 3-point shots. Yes, we want to shoot a high number of threes. I'm not against the actual number. It's more of most of these threes are not high quality shots, and the Celtics need to find more of those high quality shots as the season rolls along because they were able to do it last year, specifically in the playoffs when it mattered the most. And maybe they'll be able to do it again when that time rolls around this season, but they have to be building those good habits going into the playoffs. And so far in December, it's been few and far between. Some nights it looks great, other nights, not so much. And tonight, in a game where we lose by 9 points, doesn't look great at all.
Yeah.
I, Go ahead, Randy.
No, I was just gonna say, like you said, we need high quality shots, but I think the thing is because of the system the Celtics run, I think in their system, a Tatum ISO step back three, that is a good shot. I think that's really been instilled on them, or a drive kick 3-point every
Well,
time.
see, I'm
That's
not
a good
arguing
shot.
over the Tatum.
Yeah,
Tatum can kind of do whatever he wants at this point because he's a
yeah.
star.
Uh,
It's more
I
of the others, like Jalen Brown, 1 of 8 from three.
Well,
Derek
but
White,
Jalen Brown
three
has
of
just
12.
Hold
been
on.
Peyton
he's
Pritchard is
Oh,
regressed.
4 of 10. That was all right, efficient tonight. But it's these other
well,
guys who need to be shooting off of Tatum's attempts, Brown's aggressive driving attempts, and there's too many others on the roster outside of Tatum
Yeah,
taking those type of Tatum threes. I'm not necessarily saying
yeah.
Tatum's
I don't
the
like it.
huge
Yeah, I
problem
don't like
here,
it.
but it's more of, oh, Derek White is taking these type of
Yeah,
threes.
I
Kristaps
agree.
Porzingis, Drew Holiday, and Peyton
Yeah,
Pritchard too. Peyton Pritchard's been very efficient from three, but he is a culprit of that as well. Jalen Brown as well, 1 of 8 tonight. That's just not going to do it.
yeah,
here I want to trying to get this set up here. I do want to pull up. This is Derek White's shot chart from tonight.
yeah. It's
This
abysmal.
See more.
is
We need more
let
corner threes out of Derek White
well
here.
let me see
Two,
if I can
two.
let's see if I can take the ticker off just so we can kind of see the bottom.
I mean, I feel
30
like
5 for 14
yeah,
and 12 of those shots were from behind the arc. And I understand there are certain looks that might be open, might not be open, but I think this is just a perfect example. I wish I found it a little bit quicker when Seamus was talking because this is what we're talking about with Derek White. And don't get me wrong,
yeah,
D White, at least defensively this year, has been playing spectacular. But
great. Yeah,
offensively, I think we can definitely see the change in where he's hanging around that perimeter right now. And he's just shooting threes this year. He's not facilitating. He's not penetrating to the basket, getting to the
yeah,
basket like he was last year. And that's exactly like Seamus mentioned, a reason why he was in that all-star conversation. And you're just not seeing that from
no,
Derek White this year. You're seeing him hang out at that 3-point line. And I'll admit, man, D White in the fourth quarter has been spectacular. Maybe not as of late, but he's been spectacular whenever you call this number, he was always there to hit a big time shot. But I definitely notice that. And if anybody notices that, it's gonna be me because I'm a big Luke
yeah,
Cornett guy. I'm an even bigger Derek White guy. I absolutely love Derek White and his game and what he brings to this team. I will say though, I don't like harping on him too much, but I can definitely see kind of a role change in Derek White's game. And you mentioned it just a couple moments ago, Seamus. And we talk about what Rob talks about on this show is more of a traditional 3-and-D type wing player. Derek White has turned into be rather than that traditional guard that we're kind of accustomed to seeing.
yeah,
So I just wanted to kind of bring up that shot chart from tonight. I'll throw it up there one more time for everybody to take a look at. But I mean, 14 shot attempts tonight, 12 of those came behind that 3-point arc, and he only hit 2 of them.
yeah. Justin, you know what's interesting actually about that shot chart? Um, obviously they're not identical, but I don't know. I just feel like a lot of the players in the Celtics, I feel like their shot charts are going to look like that. whether that's full season or just, small periods of time. But I mean, what the Celtics identity is, I think the entire league knows. I think, the TNT guy, everyone knows what this Celtics identity is. It's physical, tall, big, and they can shoot the three and they drive to the basket. And I think that shot chart is a perfect representation of not just Derek White, but I think of a lot of the Celtics. Like Tatum, yes, we see him hit the mid-range sometimes. But other than a little bit, most of these guys, like, Tatum, Brown, Holiday, I mean Horford, especially Porzingis, they're just three or layup. That's their identity. I mean, yeah, we get JB. I always harp on him how he's probably one of, if not the best mid-range guy in the league. But outside of him, I think that shot chart is a perfect representation of this team.
That shot chart to me, what stands out really, Derek White's, is how many threes are coming at the top of the key or the wing, which suggests they're not catch and shoot threes this season. Most of catch and shoot threes happen either in the corner, and yes, they do happen on the wing as well when the ball gets swinged around. But you notice a lot of those are more centered at the top of the key. They're closer to the top of the key. Yep, there you go again. 2 corner threes tonight, and they're hardly corner threes, really. They're not deep in the corner either. Misses both of those, and the rest are threes that kind of, I mean, outside of really those, if you look out on the left side, those 2 wing shots on the left side, all the rest of those threes are pretty much dribble up and shoot. That's what it is. And that's a problem for me right now, and a problem with the Celtics, and a problem with Derek White. And I also want to point out, too, with this shot chart, look at the 2 shots at the rim. We just saw it. They were both makes.
Right there.
They're both makes. We want to get more shots at the rim with this team, because when you get shots at the rim, those are some of the easiest shots in basketball. And what also annoys me a little bit about the 3-point barrage in the NBA today, now I don't think it's as big of a problem for the ratings as people suggest and for the league. But what annoys me about the 3-point barrage from the Celtics and the rest of the league is, if you really look at the most efficient shots in the NBA, which is what the league is going off of right now, they look at, what is going to create the most points per shot? And the data shows corner threes, but layups. It's as if, I understand, yes, teams want to get 3-pointers or layups, but it's as if not enough emphasis is actually put on going to the rim and getting layups, because not only do you get a high efficient shot at the rim from a layup, because boom, it's 2 feet, it's right there. And corner threes, the reason they're efficient is because usually it's wide open in the corner. If you kick out, wide open guy, everybody collapses, guys in the corner, wide open. But you get free throws. Yeah. You get free throws, you get fouled, you get free throws if you're driving to the rim aggressively, constantly. And we have seen that with some of the best players in the NBA. I won't bring up some names because it's going to bring up some controversy here, because they're going to be names in which us Celtics fans don't like. Some of the most prolific free throw shooters in the last 5-10 years. I think we kind of know who those people are. They might reside on some LA teams, some Philadelphia-led teams, just some of those teams. But those guys are aggressive at going to the rim. And yes, they get some cupcake calls along the way, but those guys, won't name names here, from Philadelphia and Los Angeles here, they go to the rim aggressively. What was that, Justin?
I want to clear Giannis's name, because I feel like Giannis doesn't get enough respect. So I hope you're not.
I didn't say Milwaukee. I said Philadelphia and Los Angeles. I'm just saying. I think you guys know they're yellow and blue teams. Won't bring up the jersey numbers. 21, 23.
Or position.
Well, you could say Embiid. It's not going to hurt his feelings. Dude doesn't play anyway.
Well, I'm just saying, Embiid and LeBron James, they're 2 of the most prolific free throw shooters in the league. And I understand they get cupcake calls and the referees favor them and blah, 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 blah. But part of the reason as to why they get to the line is they're some of the hardest players to guard when they go downhill towards the rim. And we have one of those players right now. His name is Jason Tatum. His name is Jason Tatum.
He's on the Celtics, so we know how that goes.